Tier list, Nighty cheeky tier lists. Tier list, Nighty cheeky tier lists. Hello everyone, my name's Christopher Nightingale, and I'm back again with another cheeky tier list. Now, earlier in the year, I did a tier list on Blackpool Pleasure Beach's roller coasters. Well, this year I'm going to focus on another theme park that's very well known here in the UK, and that is Alton Towers. So I'm going to focus on the Alton Towers roller coasters today. They don't have as many roller coasters as Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but they're arguably world famous attractions, some of these. And I've done several categories. I've done Alton Amazing, which is the best in class at Alton Towers. I've done Very Good, Fun, Decent, Poor, and Haven't Been On Yet. Now, I've been to Alton Towers a few times over the years, mainly through school, and I kind of attempt with friends to visit at least once every year, maybe once every 2 years. So I've had a fair chance to go on a few of these rides quite a few times, so I'm looking forward to going through them today. So let's start with 13. This is a ride that I think is overrated and not very good. I actually am going to put this as poor. And I'm going to put it as poor purely based on the ride it replaced, because it replaced Corkscrew. Now, Corkscrew was absolutely awesome. I loved Corkscrew. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And obviously it was getting old, it was getting a bit rough, but it was a classic. And all they really needed to do was just upgrade Corkscrew, do a new version of Corkscrew. They got rid of Corkscrew, they put in 13, they set this dark forest theme, and they have it, basically it's a little tiny roller coaster that goes round a little forest and then it goes into a thing, drops you a bit and then puts you over. I just think it's overrated, not a very good ride. And the park can do without it, actually. The park could be much better without it, in my opinion. So it might be the only ride I put in poor, actually. Wicker Man is very, very good. Very good. For a brand new wooden roller coaster, it runs really well. It is a lot of fun. It flies round the corners. There's some serious speed on Wicker Man, which you only realise when you're on it. Like, you don't, from looking at it, when you're queuing up, you don't think it's going too quick, but when you're on it, you really feel the speed, and you fly around the helixes. It's just brilliant. The theming is great. I think it's as wooden roller coasters go, it's very good. Would I put it up there with some of Blackpool's? I'm not too sure if I would put it quite in that quite. It's very, very close. In fact, yeah, it's on par with Big Dipper. I don't know if I'd put it on par with Grand National, but it is on par with Big Dipper at Blackpool Pleasure, is definitely. So I think Wicker Man is a great ride. Runaway Mine Train. Runaway Mine Train, I'll say it's decent. Is it? It's probably between these two, actually. No, it's decent. The thing with Runaway Mine Train is it doesn't have a lot of ups and downs. It's just kind of goes round at speed, and it's not super quick, and there's not many ups and airtime or any sort of inversions or anything. It's a very simple ride, but it's more fun than 13. So, and it's been around at the park a long, long time. In fact, it might be the oldest one of these roller coasters, actually. I think it is. Yeah, it's the oldest roller coaster still running in the park. So, for that, it deserves some credit. So I'm going to put it as decent. I mean, is there anywhere Nemesis can go other than classic? Like, amazing. Nemesis is unbelievable ride. It's a brilliant ride. It's the thing that I say about Nemesis, which is amazing, is that it's from 1994, so it's over 25 years. It's 28 years old, and yet it runs smoother than Infusion at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, which is a lot younger than Nemesis. Nemesis runs unbelievably smoothly for a roller coaster that age. I know they're doing I think they're doing a bit of retrack work on it for the first time this year. But Nemesis is an unbelievable ride. It's brilliant. It just throws you around. You get a serious sense of speed. The loop is brilliant. The corkscrews are brilliant. It's great fun. And if you've ever been at the front of Nemesis, that is one of the best experiences you're ever going to have riding a roller coaster. I think is being at the front row of Nemesis is pretty amazing. It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there. Right, Rita, I think is decent. I think having ridden Icon several times, it really puts Rita in perspective. Rita is a roller coaster that's all about that first launch, but there's nothing else to it. And I remember riding it when it first came out. It was 2005, and no one had seen anything like this. This was brand new technology. This type of launch coaster was brand new technology, so everyone was really excited about it. But this type of it's just there's nothing else to it. There's the launch. It goes round a bit and it goes up and down. I think it goes round two corners and then up over a little hill. But there's not even much hill to that. I don't think it's very good. I think it's all about that first launch and the thrill of that. But if you take that away, there's not much else to the ride. And that's where Icon is massively different, because Icon, the launch is less fierce, but there is so much more to the ride of Icon than there is to Rita. That's why I'm going to put Rita as decent. Now, I know this has had its controversies in the past. Rightfully so, considering the crash that happened a few years ago. But I'm not going to lie, I still think Smiler is the best ride in the park. I think Smiler is absolutely fantastic as a roller coaster. It is. The twists and turns are unbelievable. It is brilliant. It's a great ride. Smiler is a great ride. It's just the initial drop. You straight out the station, you're dropping into a twirl and then underground, and then that's before you even go up. So that's one inversion where you don't even see it coming. And the fact that halfway it's great because it's two parts, and the transition from the first part to the second part is going up a vertical chain lift, which is a surreal experience. To get pulled up vertically is brilliant. It's just obviously fantastic ride. The queue's always massive for it, so if you're lucky, you may get to ride it once in a day if you go to the main queue. But if you go to the single rider queue, it's about 20 minutes. And it's worth it. It's worth going on the single rider queue just to cut out the length of time you have to queue for. If you don't mind riding by yourself, highly recommend doing that. But the Smiler is it's a blast. It's an absolute blast. Sometimes there's almost too many inversions for its own good. You don't have a clue where you are, but what a ride when you're on it. It's fantastic. I'm slightly ashamed to say this. I haven't been on Oblivion. I'm too scared. I'm too scared to go on Oblivion because I don't like vertical drops. That may change because recently I conquered me fear of going on the big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and I did that about 4 times, and I really enjoyed myself. Can I see myself doing that with Oblivion? I don't know. Will that be pushing it a bit too far? I think it's the sheer... I think it's looking straight down and going straight down that's in my head is scary. So I haven't been on it yet. Spinball Wizard, I think, is very good. I enjoy it more than Wicker Man. I really like Spinball Wizard. I remember it was called Sonic Spinball when it first came out. No, maybe it was called Spinball Wizard and then called Sonic Spinball and then it's gone back. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't look very intense from the outside. You know, there's no loops, there's no massive turns or anything like that. But when you're on it and you're spinning, my word, you really feel it. It feels intense, and it's a lot. Yeah, it's great fun. It's probably outside Runaway Mine Train. It's probably the most family-friendly roller coaster in the park. But take nothing away from the fact that it is a real good time when you're riding it. It's great. Last but not least, we have Air. And I think Air is fun. I prefer the others over the top of Air. I think Air, and this may come from the fact that I've been to Six Flags Magic Mountain in California, and they have a ride similar to Air called Tazoo, but has a lot more going for it. It has a pretzel loop, an upside down loop. It has a lot more go. Air was but I remember when Air came out in 2002, and it was, no one had seen anything like it. It was unbelievable. It was groundbreaking. And that's one thing Alton Towers does really well, is groundbreaking stuff. They push the boundaries with what can be done. And in the UK, they especially became well known for doing that. They did it with Oblivion, and they've done it with Air. Air, as a flying coaster, 2002, it was just a game changer. Even though, actually, when you look at the ride layout, there's not really too much to it. It's quite a small ride. You only really do one corkscrew, maybe two corkscrews. It's too short compared to Tazoo in Six Flags Magic Mountain, which took Air's concept and then expanded it, like doubled it, the size of it. Air seems short by comparison, and that's why I see it as a fun time, but it's over too quick. Now, I know my mate Joe Pickles is going to put Air right at the top of the list, and that's absolutely fine. It's personal, subjective opinion. I just think for myself, it's great fun whilst you're on it, but it's over too quick, and that's why I'm going to put it there. I will always call it Air. I won't call it Galactic, because Galactica with that virtual reality stuff was a load of bollocks, to be honest. They didn't need to do that. It was, that was a mistake on Alton Towers' part. They dropped the ball there. They thought that virtual reality thing was going to be bigger than it is. Now they've realised it's not, and I think they've effectively scrapped the virtual reality because they realised that no one really wanted it. It obviously is. I think they've scrapped it. Well, I hope they have. For me, it's forever known as Air. I don't even consider it to be called Galactica or whatever the hell it's called. It's always Air. So yeah, that is a short video today, but that is my ranking of the Alton Towers roller coasters. If you've never been to Alton Towers before, I highly recommend you do. It's a great day out. It's very different from Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and because everything's more spaced out. You have all the woodland there. You can even, if you want, just take a quiet walk through the forest, and it's still a lot of fun. There's also the famous towers there, of course. So it's a lot more scenic than Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but you get less rides for your money. And if you're okay with that, that's absolutely cool. But it's definitely worth visiting at least once. Anyway, everyone, take care. And I hope to see you soon with another cheeky tier list.